Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. My name's Dustin Beck, and this is the second in a series where we discuss Ben Folds 5, Selfless, Cold, and Composed. This is the solo and the bridge section, so we'll be going over that in depth as we go. If you like what I'm doing here, please do like and subscribe, and stick around for all the great stuff. Let me know what you want to hear, and I'll see if I can get to it. Alright, let's check out the tutorial. Okay, seems like a lot, but we can do it. We got that little solo section at the beginning, and then he's going to do the shouting bit that's really powerful, and then we're going to do that little bit of the end of the bridge there. So let's start with the solo section. Here we go. We're going to play our F sharp chord. Well, that's with the little intro there, but our F sharp, we're still F sharp. We got our F sharp major happening. We're an octave higher than we were before. We've been here. We've been there a bunch, so we're going to take all of our hands and move them just exactly an octave higher, so we get the octave higher. And he's going to play the walk down mostly with his left hand. Just like that. Just like we've been doing. But we don't go all the way to the D. And then we go to the D on the next chord and E on the next chord. So it's really just our verse. I said what you wanted to hear. So as far as our left hand is concerned, we're just playing the verse again. Our right hand, though, we have this beautiful half-step intro up to the 5. So we go 7, 1, 5, E sharp, F sharp, C sharp. And then the left hand plays the major 7 chord. 3, 2, and then the turn, 3, 4, 2, 3. Like so. So right when you play that dominant, the flat 7 there to make the dominant chord, you're going to put everything down at the same time starting on the 3 and do the turn, which is the same kind of turn we did at the beginning, but we don't have the outside. So he's using again that turn, and that turn's going to go right to the F sharp. Just like that. So far we got... Okay, that's what we need to do so far. Here we go. And then we're going to play this guy again, and we're going to kind of do a... This is one of those patterns that I figure just learn everywhere because you're going to use this stuff all the time. So this is like, all I'm doing is walking down the scale, kind of the F sharp dominant scale, but I'm just walking it down, but I'm playing the thirds as I go. So we could keep going. But you see how I'm just outlining these thirds. That's all that's really happening here. So it seems like it's a lick or something, but it's really not. It's just kind of him getting down to the D. You know. So just learn those things. If we were in C, it would look something like this. Well, with the dominant. You know what I mean? And kind of get it under your fingers the way you feel best. I tend to sillily use my strong fingers, which you probably shouldn't do it that way. But I just got used to, doing little patterns in descending motions. So sometimes you, gospel players will do stuff like... You just get used to it, and you could, in C that's pretty easy. You try to move it around as best you can. But anyway, back to the point at hand. So we're just going to use this little thirds run here to get us down to the D chord. So here we go. Oops. Here we go. Right, and notice you kind of land on that D a little bit before this one does. All right, and then that kind of outlines. So once we get to the D chord, he does play the D, and then the D chord happens with your left hand, and then we go E, F sharp, C sharp, B, down to this F sharp. So it's not really outlining anything, but I like it. We're kind of using... So that's the line for sure. D, E, F sharp, C sharp, B, F sharp. That's what we play over the D. right, so it's kind of an outline of the D. You got the 9 there. There's a 3. It's really not. You know, it's just a beautiful melody. Then we move to our left hand. We make the chord change to the E. And we stay E and F sharp, but we jump up to the D and walk down the scale. And that one looks a little bit more like outlining in an E chord to me. We have the 1 and then the 2 or the 9, depending on how you think about it, the 7, and we walk down the scale. So I can kind of see an E chord there, but in the D I really can't, so it's kind of like... Okay, so first one, D, E, D down an octave below, and then the E up an octave, E, F sharp, C sharp, B, F sharp, E, F sharp, D, C sharp, B, and then we repeat it again. But the second time around, we don't do the little half step. That's only right at the beginning. So here's right at the beginning again. And then our second time around, we start right on the 3rd. And we come out, walk it up. So we still have that turn motion, so get this under your finger. Because that, we're going to use that every time through. And there's a little bit of a pause, you can hear the rhythm. So you got to get the dexterity going on this little, to play this song. That's important right there, those 3 fingers. So this one we're going to go. Right on 1. And then when you hit that major 7, you should be back there. Walk it up. Just like so. And then same thing, we're going to use that 3rds run. Same thing. Oh, and I skipped a part there. So on this one, we're coming to that major 7 chord a little sooner, so he puts in this little walk-up that we did from the intro. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just 1, 2, 3, 4. And then it leads right into the 3rds descending line. So here we go. Don't go to that D, though. I so consistently go to that D. Don't do it. So here we go again. So you see what happened there? Here we go again. Walk it down. I'll try to play it even slower. And this gave me a ton of trouble because one, that walk down is in a different place. The second and third time have the little, but the first one doesn't. So we really have 3 distinct parts here. We have the very first one like this. With very similar middles. And then the second one. And that one is an exact repeat. He plays that again. And then when you get to the fourth one, we play that whole lick, but instead of starting back at F sharp here, we're going to come down low and give it a really bangy. Okay, and so we're really going to play in that F sharp section where we're playing with our thirds once again. 1 and 3, 2 and 4, 3 and 5. So it's like 1 and 3, 2, dun, 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 just like that. And then to lead in to the next chord, we're going to walk it up. Just like that, and that leads us right to our D major 7 banging. Come along, baby, and now throw me right to the chin. And we remember that? So I kind of use them all the time. It's not exactly the same every time on the record. You're always welcome to put your little flares in, but the main point is this bangy part is F sharp triad, big fat F sharp major triad. And then he moves this. And sometimes we do that, F sharp, the suspension, back home, and then 3, 2, 1, kind of like that. And sometimes I do it like 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. So we do these different combinations of playing with these thirds here in the middle. Sometimes it's 1, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, over to the D. Just bang that D out. 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3. So you can feel whatever kind of lead in that you want to use there. Okay? And then the next part, so after we do the D, blah, then we do our F sharp one last time. When we go to the next part, we're actually going to play that same D chord, but now we're going to put a B in the bass and make it a B minor 7. But you just, and then to the E chord, smile. It's just standard E chord. Smile politely to an A major 7. And you can see how I'm spreading it apart. I have the A in the bass here, and then the 7 here. So I'm really just using a triad. It looks like a C sharp minor triad with an A in the bass. But you can see here, there it is. 1, 2, 3, 5, and my 7. And the same thing with this B. I'm kind of, and this is a very common piano trick to use. You put the root in the bass, but then your chord on top is really just has all the color. So you don't need to do that 4-chord block chord. You take the 3 notes that are important, and sometimes you'll even take the 2. The flat 7 and the 3. That's what gives it the color. That's really all you need. I like putting the thicker one in too, but that's really all you need. You just smile, regular E, politely, like you're telling me, have a nice life. And then that last chord is a C sharp dominant. So we've been playing the C sharp minor 7 quite a bit. This time, put in that E sharp that gives us our tritone. And that'll really draw us into the F sharp. And then the last bit is where he plays kind of like a little repeating pattern, but still does the walk down. All the way to the D. And I don't think my pattern is exactly right, but I like the way it sounds. But what you really need to figure out is this is the little string pizzicato. So you either play the pattern or you play something like, and then the second time you play the string part, and then you play the longer pizzicato string. So pick and choose there, but that's basically the section. So I'm just doing 1, 5, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1, 5, 1, 1. So I'm playing 3, like a repeating pattern, 3 over 4. But it's not 2 different time signatures, which is usually how they say it. I'm just putting 3 quarter notes. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Oh, I'm wrong. It's not over 4. Right, so we're just playing the 8th notes of the 6/8 time. Just fill in the chord with this pattern. And that's that little section. So let's hear the whole thing, see if I can get through it all the way one time real good. technically, the first time around, he does it again. He starts the solo again. We do the whole thing again. But it's exactly a repeat until you get back into this guy here. And then he kind of does it once, but then he goes, said what you wanted to hear. Right back into our verse. I wanted to say. And then we take it to the end of the song with parts that we've already discussed. So really this song is 3 major sections. We got the intro, we got the verse, and we have this solo bridge section here. So that's all 3 videos. Should be the entire song. Put them in the correct order. Try to start singing over it. I know that's a tough part, or maybe you're accompanying somebody else. You don't have to worry about that. But hope you guys enjoyed the tutorial. Like I said, my name's Dustin Beck. Please like and subscribe to all the stuff. If you enjoy coming here, please come back. Tell me what you want to hear. Tell me what you want to do. And let's learn and play together.